Just west of downtown San Antonio, there's a complex of buildings dating back more than 150 years. In a city full of landmarks, the home and mercantile of José Antonio Navarro has a special distinction. It's a National Historic Landmark because it's the home of a true Texas hero, José Antonio Navarro. Born in San Antonio in 1795, José taught himself law, became a successful businessman, and began to make a name for himself in early 1830s. While his friends and peers fought in the Battle of the Alamo, he helped Texas gain its independence, being the only native Texan on the committee that framed the Texas Constitution, and he was only one of 2 native Texans to help draft and sign the Texas Declaration of Independence. Navarro was captured by the Mexican authorities and offered a government position if he renounced his allegiance to Texas. His response has been quoted over the centuries. "I will never forsake Texas and her cause. I am her son." Even as he was imprisoned and sentenced to death for treason against Mexico, he kept his word. José Antonio Navarro was a visionary, a man of peace, known as the White Dove. He escaped and returned to Texas a hero, joining his colleagues Stephen F. Austin and Sam Houston. Considered the first Tejano to write the history of Texas, he faithfully recorded the many contributions of Tejanos. He served in many capacities on a local, state, and national level during Texas' 6 changes of government: Spanish colony, Mexican state, independent republic, American state, Confederate state, and once again an American state. José Antonio lived out his life in this home in San Antonio, where he died in 1871. Casa Navarro was saved from demolition by the Conservation Society of San Antonio almost 65 years ago. The casa is a rare survivor of Laderito, an important Tejano neighborhood in San Antonio. Casa Navarro was the home of José Antonio Navarro, built in the 1850s, and includes 2 other buildings. Let's take a look around this Texas Historical Commission landmark. First, this 2-story building, constructed in 1857, was a store during the rest of the 19th century. Notice the large stone blocks, called coins, in each corner, giving the building a refined solidity. Here, the Navarro family, or possibly a shopkeeping tenant of theirs, could sell and trade goods with fellow San Antonians. Today, the building serves as a gift shop where tours of Casa Navarro begin. Next, we'll visit the Navarro's home with its long, low roofline and wide front porch. Its architectural style is known as Texas Vernacular. Inside, we find a room that tells the story of José Antonio from his birth and the involvement of his family in Texas independence movements. Navarro continually fought for the rights of the native Tejanos, especially during the drafting of the Constitution of the Republic of Texas. Next, we learn about Navarro in the large living room where he would gather with his large family and guests. Behind those front rooms, there is another room known as the Timeline Room. It visually tells more history about José Antonio and his entire family. In the courtyard, there is a well and a cistern. This historic cistern is basically a large, deep clay pot in the earth that collects rainwater for use in the house and garden. Behind the living quarters, there is a building that housed a kitchen, a storeroom, and sleeping quarters for the family cook. During the 19th century, kitchens were usually separate from the house due to the risk of fire. Here you can see traditional Tejano foodway demonstrations during special programs. Come visit Casa Navarro and learn more about life in the 1800s and the life of José Antonio Navarro, a Tejano patriot who played an enormous role in Texas Revolution and Texas statehood. Today, the descendants of José Antonio Navarro and his wife Margarita gather every February to celebrate José Antonio's birthday. There's even a birthday cake. José Antonio Navarro has been gone nearly a century and a half, yet his legacy continues through his descendants, numbering over 500. His name and his many contributions continue to be honored throughout our grateful state.